Let's get into this situation that we have here. If y'all look on your screens, it says works and discernment in a world of deceit. NSBJ. We'll deal with NSBJ in a moment. It's a little acronym that I came up with putting this together. It's not a secret. It means not saved but judged. And we need to understand what we're talking about. And we're going to prove it with the scriptures, as we have to do. You have to prove all things with the word of Yah. Okay, the law and the prophets. This is tucked away in a nice little hole and deep into the prophets. And it's something that we need to remember. It says, take you heed every one of his neighbor, all the people around you, and trust you not in any brother. So the people that's a little closer to you, for every brother will utterly supplant. That means try to take your place. Supplant. Esau called Jacob a supplanter. His name, it means supplanter. What did Jacob do? He kind of tricked Esau a little bit to sell his birthright. He did. He did the same thing to Laban. Took them sheep. He did the little thing with the rod and the water and made all them sheep look like they were speckled. And he said, yeah, I'll take all the messed up sheep. But them was really the good animals. And he gave him Jacob was slick. Don't get it twisted. His name means supplanter. That's what his name means. That's why Esau was like, he fooled me this time and the next time, and now you're gonna give him. He was going off. Jacob was like, hey, bro, give me that birthright, man. You don't want to see these beans over here, bro. You hungry? Look here, we're gonna have to make a deal. Esau too worldly in his flesh to even know what Jacob was doing. Jacob was smooth, slide with it. And he got punished for his slickness. Got Leah, woke up, what I mean? The Most High is, you want to be slick, you want to do little slick stuff, and then look what happened to you. But now you got to work for this man for 20 years to get what you need. So don't think Jacob is Jacob was righteous. Nah, man. He did his stuff too. So, deceived his father with a kiss. Same thing Judas did to the Messiah. You come to deceive me with a kiss, huh, Judas? Wow, boy. And you got to make those connections. So take heed every one of his neighbor and trust you not in any brother. I mentioned Judas. For every brother will utterly supplant. When we're in the walk and we're brothers and we loving our neighbor and ourselves, this should not be what's going on. But it can be. Obviously, Judas walked with the Messiah. And every neighbor will walk with slanders. What does that mean? Everybody talking about you behind your back at some point. Why? Most likely you talking behind somebody's back. And this is what we cannot do. Everybody either has done it or is doing it. I don't take every neighbor, every brother lightly. Okay? We've been guilty, and we got to make sure we're not that brother or that neighbor that's trying to covet somebody else or take somebody else's spot. You don't need to do that. Can't nobody be in competition with you. Nobody. Can't nobody do what you was put here to do. Nobody. So you got to tap into that and let your light shine. It says, and they will deceive everyone his neighbor and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies and weary themselves to commit iniquity. These are people outside of covenant. Because if you're in covenant, you can't lie. You can't do iniquity, which is lawlessness. You have to do the law, which means keep the law. You can't be without it. Iniquity means lawlessness. Verse 6, your habitation, this is the kicker, is in the midst of deceit. Hey, get comfortable. You hear everything around you is a lie. And 90+% of people are walking in it. You got cross dressers, that's a lie. You's a dude. I don't care what you get chopped. You still a dude. That's a lie. You got people keeping the Christmas. That's another lie. Ain't no Saturnalia celebration, worshiping stars and moons and luminaries. That's another lie. And they will weary themselves to commit iniquity. People will break their neck to get an outfit, some jewelry, maybe sell a bunch of poison to his own people so they can go to the club Friday and Saturday night on the Shabbat, which is iniquitous, right? And then call themselves that I'm going to slay some. Adultery, fornication, drunkenness, inebriation, everything the Bible says you can't do that. You can't do it. Revelation chapter 20. Let's go into some judgment verses and we're going to prove it. Not saved by, no, you ain't saved by your works. We just read that in Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 through 9. But you are judged by your works without question. Who you hanging out with? What you doing when you hanging out? What you talking about? What you looking at? What you listening to? What are you doing? Let's read Revelation chapter 20. We're going to read verses 12 and 13. And when y'all get there, I'm going to set it off in the KJV. And then we're going to read it over in the NLT for some lucidity. Verse 12 says, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yah, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. So you can't be saved by your works, but you will be judged by your works. Verse 13. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, everybody, according to their works. Get up off our behinds and do something for Yah by doing something for his creation, instead of just doing stuff for your house. Seriously. Give us that in NLT. Loud and slow. Verse 12.
I saw the dead, both great and small, standing before you who is throned. And the books were opened, including the book of life. And the dead were judged according to what they had done, as recorded in the books.
Right. So who thinks you're going to go up and stand there and say, we're going to see, what did you do back here in 2020? No. We already being recorded right now. You understand? Things are already being written every day. Everything you say, everything you think, and everything you do. So we got to have a higher standard of discipline. We got to watch ourselves. Read verse 13.
The sea gave up its dead, and death and the grave gave up their dead. And all were judged according to their deeds.
Okay. Right. All were judged according to their deeds. Those are the things that you do. Okay. So it's very important when we look at the title and we talk salvation, works and discernment in a world of deceit. Not saved, but judged. You will not be saved by your works, but you will be judged by them. And we got to always remember that. Okay. We skipping off on Shabbats. We, ain't gathering. It's one thing if you don't have means, but how much energy and effort did you put into going to the family cookout? You done went to the strip district meat, got yourself 10 pounds of wings, I'm talking about, got yourself some ribs, pork ribs, because Uncle Charlie, he liked them ribs with the chocolate. She like that. Let's get a receipt for Revelation, okay? Because let's get a proof text. Let's get some proof text for Revelation 12 and 13, because that's what you want. Be like, man, I ain't talking about that. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? Okay, let's get some proof text. And we about to wrap up. Something we were meditating on last night. 1 Samuel 2 and 3. Read.
Stop acting so proud and haughty. Don't speak with such arrogance. For Yahuwah is a little who knows what you have done. He will judge your actions.
He will judge your actions. Quit being boastful. Quit being proud like you got something going on, like you some special one. Ain't none of us special, right? We may be the apple of Yah's eye. Yeah, we get that. But we ain't supposed to be trying to co-sign our worth. That's him that has the knowledge to say whether we're righteous or not. We don't have it, right? Let not arrogancy, that's pride. Haughtiness was in that version she read. That's pride. That's puffed up, being haughty. Come out of your mouth. We got to be humble and lowly, family. Right? We don't go telling everybody all the good or all we doing for people. If we come together and do something together, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Sharing an experience. But don't try to make yourself out to be like you have not ever sinned. Because we know that's a lie. There's only one that's ever accomplished that. For Yah is an allure of knowledge. I like when you said he knows what you've done. The stuff that you ain't tell nobody but him. Hopefully you've at least told him. Okay. And by him, actions are weighed. He ain't worried about what you're talking about. He ain't worried about what you're talking. Actions are weighed. Man, write this down in the tablet of your heart, family. This 1 Samuel 2 and 3. So we know that we are not saved by works, but we will be judged by them. What are we up to? We about to close out with a couple lengthy readings. I'm going to go KJV for these last two passages. This next one's one of my favorite. We're going to do it strictly out of the KJV because, you know, we should be able to absorb this without going to any other version. And it's only, what is this? 6 verses. So go ahead when you're ready, sis.
Cast your bread upon the waters, for you shall find it after many days. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for you know not what evil shall be upon the earth.
Right. So what are we talking about here? Give. Help as many people as you're able to. You know, you want to ask the Most High for peace and stability in your own house, but use some of those resources that help other people. As many as you're able, because guess what? It's going to come back to you. Cast your bread upon many waters, for you shall find it after many days. It's going to come back to you. You what? Reap what you've sown. Right? Period. Give a portion of 7 and also to 8, for you know not what evil shall be upon the earth. Guess what? You better help somebody because one day you might be in a jam. You might be in a jam. You're going to want the Most High to say, you know what? Let me send somebody, an ambassador here to help them out of this. Verse 3.
If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the trees fall toward the south or to the north, in the place where the tree falls, there it shall be.
Right.
He that observes the wind shall not sow, and he that regards the cloud shall not reap.
You hear that? If the clouds be full of rain and empty themselves upon the earth, and if the tree fall toward the south, toward the north, toward the east, toward the west, wherever the tree falls, that's where it's going to fall. What is we talking about here? You ain't got no control like we think we do. Yah is sovereign, right? Verse 4 is going to help us understand better. He that observes the wind shall not sow. Man, it's snowing outside. It's raining outside. So I ain't going to go plant nothing. I ain't going to invest nothing. Right? It's late. All the excuses that we make. And he that regards the clouds shall not reap. You ain't going to grow nothing. You ain't going to receive nothing. So when we look at if the clouds be full of rain and if they empty, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Cast your bread. Go to work. You don't know how that thing will be reciprocated back unto you. And let's stop making excuses why we ain't doing these things. Verse 5.
As you know not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so you know not the works of Yahuwah who makes all.
Hallelujah. Go ahead.
In the morning sow your seed, and in the evening withhold not your hand. For you know not whether shall prosper, either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good.
So what are we waiting on? You really don't know if you're wasting time what the effects would have been if we were up off of our behinds and doing the works that we're going to be judged by.